So this is my trailer. So the back end is rotten. See, this door is completely rotten. Aircraft won't even get down here now. All rotten along the base here. The rear frame is all rotten, and it's tracked back along the roof here. So this first panel of the roof is rotten. This whole frame needs to be replaced, and the ramp needs to be completely rebuilt. The floor is, pleased to say, solid. So that's good news. Okay, this is the ramp under construction. It's got a 9mm skin on each side with an 18mm core, bonded and screwed, and then the centre will be filled with expanding foam. That's both skins of the door on now, and filled the cavity with expanding foam. Just as it acts as a shear tie between the top and the bottom skin, as well as the framework that's inside. Dry screwed at the corners, and then we'll take it up to the airfield. I'm probably going to have to trim off, once I take the old door out, I'm probably going to have to rip this to the exact dimension to meet the alley skin of the trailer. But that's fine. I've got a trusty Ryobi battery powered rip saw for that job, amongst many other tools. So yeah, quite pleased so far. All seems to be going to plan. Okay, door engineering update. Frame now completely assembled with the alley cladding bonded on. I can still disconnect the corners for when I assemble it at the airfield. The door is in place and fettled. So, for example, these channels aren't yet attached, but this is, I've reused the channel around the edge of the door. Channels, sort of T-bars around the edge of the door, all seems to fit okay, and then there's a sheet or two of alley cladding to go on the door. I think I've decided I'm going to get some new hinges and just fit those with the whole thing in situ here in the garage, so I can get the alignment just right. I think doing that up at the airfield with the existing hinges is just going to be too difficult. Yeah, that's the update. Okay, wooden rectangle engineering day I've lost count actually. So here we are. The alley skin is now bonded on the door. The edge pieces are nicely in place. Got new hardware, hinges and locks. It seems really want to put rusty old ones on this nice new creation. And the underside of the door is this kind of like black epoxy floor paint with grit in it to give it some grip. Now I'm just going to sort of do do final fettling into the frame, fit the hinges and the locks in the right place, and then I think the job here in the garage is pretty much complete. Getting a little bit arduous now, looking forward to finishing it. This is it, it's largely finished, all in place. Fit the third hinge when we get to the airfield and it's on the trailer. Some nice little details. We'll take off the skin at the end, that'll be very satisfying, I'm sure. Yeah, glad to get to the end of this. Phase 1 done. So here we are, arrived at the airfield with the rectangle. So old, new. Let's get on with the job. I've got my camper, so I'm going to take a couple of days and just do this in a nice leisurely pace, and hopefully the weather's going to hold. See how rotten that roof frame is. Just absolutely soaking. Quite a joyous job doing this. So you can see what happens when you take the first panel down after the door. This plastic covering on the plywood actually just quite good at retaining the moisture up in the roof, keeping the insides dry, but of course the water just tracks further and further after, it's got nowhere to go. So I'm currently I've got a good 3 or 4 feet, I guess this is a 4-foot sheet of ply before it's starting to get dry. So this entire piece at the back here will have to be replaced. Shows you how rotten this door was, all along that lower edge. Day 1.5. Here we go. Okay, we've now got a dry fit frame. All seems to be going to plan. Dimensionally, changed a bit of the detailing at the top. In the original design, the roof panel went over the top of the frame, which I didn't think was a particularly great idea. So I'm taking the frame all the way up to the roof. It means I don't have as much metal of the roof to overlap with the frame, but there's probably just about enough, and then I'll seal it as well. So next stage is take the frame out and glue, bolt, screw up the corners, wet, get it in, get it secured. Next phase, going well. jobs on the outside today, refitting the external stiffening profiles, obviously trying to get those as far outboard as I can. Central hinge on, some overspill of sealant there to clear up. Yeah, it's been raining pretty heavily and everything's dry inside, so mission accomplished so far. Other work now on the roof. So I've taken this first whole panel, which is comprised of two sandwich panels. Well, it's one sandwich panel but two separate bits of foam. Taking the inside skin off, which was wet pretty much all the way from the door to here. And now I'm just taking this panel down, and you can see the skin, the other skin, is completely soaking. Yeah, it keeps on coming. More and more of it.
Last 8 years or so, a tremendous move towards
Destruction of the old ramp.
Amongst the conservatives.
Barely a dry bit of wood in there.
You might think that.
Right, let's see where we've got to. So, say I have removed the panel, headlining panel, from the new rear frame all the way back to this first cross member. Not so great. Some of the corners, I mean, this looks quite bad, but it's pretty solid. It just needs, it's waterproof and is drying out. So the repair scheme is going to be a new inner skin. Just hold it off the roof in places. So I have a cavity, and then inject that with structural foam. We'll then have effectively a sandwich panel with a roof. The roof skin is the outer skin, and the inner skin is the plywood, and the structural foam sticks like nobody's business. So that should be a really rigid and quite a simple solution to implement. So this is it. We are finished. So, new roof panel. Not the most elegant transition into the old structure, but doesn't need to win any prizes. Foam's going off in there, nicely tied into the rear frame. I reskinned the aft panel, bonded and mechanically fastened with a nice good contact join, again mechanically fastened into the rear frame. Yeah, that's it. Time now to focus a little bit on my lovely flying machine. Some TLC into that. Thanks for watching.